Hello all my Kenvians and welcome to a new episode of Discovering Steven Universe. Today, starting Season 4, and unfortunately apparently the last season available currently on Hulu. So once this is done, unless Hulu updates, I will have to find an alternate means to watch Season 5. But regardless, we have all of Season 4 to get through, and we're going to be starting off with the kindergarten kid. And I'm assuming it's safe to say that this is going to involve one of the kindergartens. Probably the one that Amethyst came from, would be my guess. But I guess we'll find out. And let's get going in 3, 2, 1.
I guess this is the last of them.
Whoa, hi.
Yeah. I saved all your butts from Jasper.
Oh God.
Feel free. Great chance to show off my metal powers.
Oh, Perry.
My kit is done. What is this perfect? I've just concocted a flawless Perry plan.
Have you?
What's the PP? If I explain it. Paradox.
Did she get poofed?
There it is. Get it.
God.
I'll finish it off.
No. How is she not poofed? This is basically a Roadrunner episode. Oh God! It's literally...
Yes! This is going to work. This is going to be
That's a weird design.
Why are you bombarding me with your confectionery, Papa? You're going to be a monster! Okay, we don't very worthy of my skill.
Aww.
Nice bubble, Perry. Happy trails.
Aww.
So where did it go? Oh.
Oh. Cute. They're not using the end theme anymore. At least for this one. Huh. Interesting. Very interesting. I pressed the wrong button. There we go. So, what a heck of an episode to start the season off with. It's pure comedy. Pure comedy. Like, this may be one of, for me, one of the absolute funniest episodes of Steven Universe that we've had so far. Well, not just because, but part of it being that they emulated the Roadrunner cartoons. Like, Peridot was Wile E. Coyote. Steven was an unfortunate bystander. And the Corrupted Gem was an extremely violent version of the Roadrunner. Even to the point where when they fell off the cliff and there was that puff at the bottom, like always happened in a Roadrunner cartoon. And even like the outline of both of their bodies, it looked like, I mean, not exactly like, but similar to like Wile E. Coyote when he would hit the ground and there would be the outline in the ground of his body, usually with his head to the side. It just worked so perfectly. I absolutely love that episode. And honestly, and the way that they touched on Peridot learning more about the corrupted gems and showing some of Steven's understanding of how the corrupted gems work, or maybe not even necessarily understanding so much as his empathy, his ability to empathize with them, and teaching Peridot, well, he didn't exactly teach her to empathize, but taught her to sort of look at it from their perspective and use that perspective to help you in capturing the corrupted gem. Clearly it didn't exactly go to plan for Peridot. But yeah, just the whole way that episode worked, I think, honestly, was quite brilliant. That's one that I may actually revisit in the near future, just for the sake of being able to laugh as much as I did. Again, it was really well done. Some of the animation felt a bit off, particularly that scene at night, mostly at the beginning of it, where Peridot was looking at what was left of the drill. What are those called? I forget. Anyway, that machine. And there was something about her design, and even Steven, that felt a bit off. Like, it almost felt like that scene in particular was done by a different team than the rest of this episode. It was like the way Peridot was drawn, the way Steven was drawn, and the way some of the movements worked, just, I don't know, it seemed like someone else was doing them. And maybe that's the case, I have no idea, but yeah, because after that initial part, the designs go sort of back to being more consistent with the rest of the episode. So, I don't know. Some of you all that are, really big into figuring this stuff out, if you do happen to know whether they actually used a different team or how that ended up happening, I'd be really interested to find out. I really wish I was taking notes. One thing I may start doing in the near future after this current recording session is I may start taking some hand notes, just because I know there were a few lines from Peridot in particular in this episode that were really good and definitely deserved quote of the episode. But yeah, again, I can't think of any offhand, but a lot of what Peridot said, I'm sure you all will probably know what I'm talking about and point them out in the comments down below if you want to. Oh, but yeah, it didn't get too deep. We had some nice teaching moments for Peridot, some amazing visual facial expressions from Peridot, and Peridot bubbled her first corrupted gem, which was really cute. It was this beautiful little moment, and when she sent it home, it went to the farm, where Lapis is just kind of, okay. So I'm curious if, I mean, the show is pretty good at continuity, so maybe the next time we actually see the farm, we'll see that bubbled gem and possibly any others Peridot might have captured in between this episode and whenever that happens. I'd be interested to see. Again, I know that the show is pretty good about continuity, so I wouldn't doubt that that probably will happen. But that's really all I have to say about this episode. The Kindergarten Kid, aka the lost episode of The Roadrunner. But yeah, I'm interested to hear what you all have to say about this episode, what I've had to say about it, or your comments on what I've had to say, basically. Really anything you want to talk about in regard to this episode. And before I end it up, again, I know I mentioned this in a lot of videos recently, so I hope it's not getting annoying, but I just want to let you all know, if you'd like to see episodes like this and from other series ahead of time, you can go over to my Patreon account, or my Patreon campaign, patreon.com/PapaKennMedia. Again, if you want to check it out, there's a link in the description down below, and there will also be one at the very end of this video. And for as little as $1 a month, you can get access to episodes like this, the next one, Know Your Fusion, and others. As soon as I get them uploaded to YouTube, I will make them available on Patreon, and they can be available on Patreon anywhere from about a day to upwards of a week before they actually go public on YouTube. So, again, if that interests you at all, go check it out. But yes, this has been, again, a fun intro to Season 4. I'm really interested to check out Know Your Fusion, because fusions are always awesome. Oh, wait a second. Pearl and Garnet don't know about Smoky Quartz yet. Are they going to introduce Smoky Quartz to them? I think that would be really cool. So that'll be my theory for the next episode, I guess, is that Steven and Amethyst are going to introduce the other crystal gems to Smoky Quartz. So yes, that's my theory. But I'm going to end this now before I ramble on too much. Everyone, thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next episode of Discovering Steven Universe.